Dun, dun. All right. And let's see, let's take a look at this here. We had some high CPU for a minute, but I think we're okay. There we go. All right, I'm going to talk to myself while people rejoin. Okay, yay, it's not laggy. Okay, so we learned a lesson. There's two things I think happened. On my screen, yay, it's not laggy. Okay, so we learned a lesson. I have my audio on over here. Okay, sorry about that. Multitasking, I'm still learning. Okay, so thank you. You said I'm looking good. Is it the hat? Is it the... So with Streamlabs OBS, if you don't have an NVIDIA card or any kind of encoder built in hardware-wise, do not use H.264 software-based, because it will clobber the CPU processes going on. So I think that's what was going on. I was hoping that might have improved something, but this thing just doesn't have enough power. Which leads me to rant once again about Lenovo. I ordered a laptop on the 1st of November, and it's still not here because there was a worldwide shortage of i7-8450 processors. So hopefully I'll have that by the 29th. So it doesn't help us a whole lot right now, but I definitely think having that 6-core laptop with a Quadro card built into it will definitely help out when we do live streams. So there we go. And then the other thing that was happening was the software that runs the Canon, it's the EOS utility. And what it does, and this is crazy because I would think that a DSLR would stream by HDMI. It doesn't. It streams by USB and it goes into the port. And then we capture that video from Streamlabs OBS. If the Canon software is in the foreground, boom, 40% CPU right there. Streamlabs is taking 28%, so a combination of those two really bogs down this poor little laptop. And on top of that, it's only got 12 gig of memory. It does have SSD hard drive, so the only thing really helping this guy out is that it is able to swap data back and forth at 3,000 meg per sec or whatever it's rated at. So there. Let me get this shared out one more time. And dun, dun, dun. All right, there's one, and you guys say everything's looking good, not laggy. On my end, I'm showing 28% CPU, 30 frames per second, and no drop frames. And we're doing, oh, let's see, 2700 KB sec. So that's not too bad. So yeah, we're gonna pick up where we left off yesterday. The Z-axis definitely needs help with that limit switch. We printed this guy out. It should be easy peasy getting that in there. That's kind of my word, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The way that, and I'll show on the screen here in a moment, the way this guy has his working is, I think, vastly different than the way I would have it working. I need to raise this before I unplug anything. The other thing that I did is, you'll notice on the desk here, there is this nice USB hub. This thing only has 2 USB ports. Isn't that great? Way to go, Acer. The thing that always, I'm sorry, it has 3 USB ports. One is in use for the wireless mouse because for whatever reason I can't manage to make the touchpad do the right click. It's an Acer, I don't know what to tell you. The other weird thing is they put the power button right beside the USB port, so if you slam in something in the USB drive, you shut off the laptop. Again, an awesome design. I'm amazed someone in quality control didn't go, hey, every time you plug something in, there's a chance to turn something off. I'm just that picky guy. Caleb, hello, how are you? I want to share this out to the FolgerTech guys because you guys have been amazing. go here. And let me get that shared out. And voila. And I also have all this stuff. Okay, so on my other laptop, my last laptop had the delete button where my, oh yeah, I have a Toshiba laptop that had a very similar design as well. Okay, so I've got a couple tools here. What do we got? We got 5 viewers. Let's see. I see Jack, David, Caleb. We got 2 others that haven't announced themselves. That's okay. Let me check my phone real quick in case I missed anything. And there we go. So I'm caught up on that. Okay, so the printer is on. Quick recap. Hello, my name is Paul. Welcome to Where Nerdy is Cool. This is my channel. If you aren't a subscriber already, hit the button. Oh, is it on this side? No, I got it right. Hit the button, become one. Almost at 2,000 subscribers. How cool is that? My goal was to have 1,000 subscribers before the end of summer. I had 1,000, I think, on August 1st, and here we are. Not even halfway through December, and 1930 something. I don't know. Someone messaged me this morning and told me that they subscribed and that they were number 19 something. So cool. This is the FT-i3 Mega. So far, the build has gone quite well. We did change the location of the power plug and power switch. This thing was designed to have it hardwired directly to the power supply, no power switch. And this is a bit of a rerun for you guys who've been following. So as you know, what we did is, and let me get this moved over so everybody can see. Actually, let me make use of the other camera here. So as you can see, dun, 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 we have a power plug and switch on the side of the printer. And we also have, and I honestly don't know the solution for this, we have wires everywhere. I mean, look, if this thing goes up, the power cord is in the way. Yeah, I'll definitely have to fix that. So we made really, really good progress last night. We got this all wired up. The limit switches are working on X and Y. We had to reverse and firmware the Y because when we told the Y axis to home, it went forward when it's supposed to go backwards. You guys were really good on that. The other thing was I was a little concerned about the AC connector, and again, you guys were really good at assisting me on that, making sure I had the right wires in the right places, so that's really cool. The printer right now is powered on and hooked up, so we should be able to jog the controls. I'm not sure this thing is going to let me lift the Z-axis. I think it's going to want to home first, and that's not going to work. So what I'll probably wind up doing is jumping to the front of the printer and lifting the Z-axis because I need to get in there to make that change. So let's see, what time is it? It is 9:02 p.m. Mental note to myself, I gotta get this done before 11. So that's my hope anyway. Let me check my phone. There we go. There. And I got everybody replied to. You want a new printer? Well, this one was $349 at FolgerTech's website. Oh yeah, I also wanted to mention to you guys, if you are going to be making any purchases on the FolgerTech website, make sure you use the coupon code Where Nerdy is Cool. I'm not sure how much that gets. I don't know if it's 5% or 7%. I'm not sure. I haven't double checked. Actually, I did use it when I had to order the power, when I had to buy the bearing the other day. So, you know, every little bit helps. But yes, there's a small kickback that comes back to me. I guess I earn a commission. Again, I don't know how much, but hey, it's a small channel. I'll take a couple dollars, sure. So the CR10S, I have a CR10S. I got a CR10 that is due to be upgraded to a CR10S. Had a pretty good time with it. All right, so let me jump over there real quick. Let's see if we can lift the axis. Oh, that's great. I have a nice scrambled looking display. Hey, the power switch worked. So let me unplug the USB and power you up because I need to lift the Z. Come on. Well, that's not cool. I was just boasting about all the progress we've made, and I have what appears to be a pretty blank screen on my LCD. Why is it the minute I say nice things about things, they go to hell? Yeah, look at that. Cables are in. Yeah, yeah. Well, I would definitely call this a WTF moment. Okay. Is it going to be that kind of night? Here we go. One more time with enthusiasm. Okay, the USB is unplugged. Power on, you little bugger. Okay, we have nothing. Well, everything worked last night, so how could anything have changed? We were moving stuff and the whole works yesterday. Well, what in the world? Now everything's plugged in. Let's power you off. Let's check connectors. All right, let's start with the LCD connectors. You're in, you're in. And let's check with power. You're in, you are in. Everything is good over there. Everything is good here. All right, one more time. The gremlins. Well, I mean, worst case, we can... Oh, there it is. All right, Mega, you've been an interesting ride so far. So there we go. So let's go to maybe prepare. Where's my move axis? Under prepare? Yep. And let's move axis. Well, I was hoping to have a few more options than extruder. Boy, this thing takes a... Alright. So I've had it with that button already. What the hell's going on my display now? Yeah, see, I got all kinds of garbage on my screen. What is going on? Why is why is this being so wonky, guys? Well, it's interesting. The minute I touch the frame, the display goes kind of crazy. So I am wondering about the grounding. But why would that be going crazy when everything is plugged in and snug? Well, maybe the all I can think of is maybe the ribbon cables aren't happy being near the power cord. I don't know. And it's still just flashing, and I have this pulled away from all the wires. What the hell? This was working yesterday. Honest to God, it was. Weird. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and now it's just blinking at me. Oh. Alright. The jacket's coming off. Now I'm frustrated. I do not understand how this can work one day and not the next. So, trolling for dollars. Well, we can do rub to your host, but here's the problem. The I want to let's plug that guy in. Okay, so we're running on USB powered. The printer is off, and the display is still blank. So let's disconnect that real quick. Let's disconnect you. Trying to get these wires beneath this mess. And let's see what that does, if anything. Man, this all worked last week. Before we went to bed last night, we were on top of the world. Everything worked. Yay! Okay, so I got the ribbon cables under the printer. Let's see what the USB does this time. Okay, green and blue. And the front is doing nothing. Yes. Yeah, let me show you what fun I have on my screen here. So, yeah, we are blank. Not even blinking. Come on, focus. See? Oh, we got blank characters. So did somehow this thing lose its firmware after being powered off and on last night? Do we have to reflash it? I mean, we can certainly do that. Well, but again, my larger question was that this all worked last night. Honest. So I am... So let's take a look at the... geez, we just did all this stuff last night. This sucks. Yeah, there are nylon screws going in between the... nylon spacers going in between the display. Oh, well, what do you know? When I press the button, I get somewhat of a menu, and it's It's a big old friggin' mess. Let me show you exactly what I am seeing. Let me see the screen. Come on, focus. And then see when I touch, I get. So I am. I'm wondering what the devil is going on here. Looks like I'm getting a message in Klingon. So, what is our thought? I would love to know why, oh why, oh why it is doing that. Alright, so if I unplug the USB cord, let's plug the USB cord back in. Let's see what happens. Blinkety blink, blink, blink. Well, see, nothing's happening, but if I press and tap stuff, sometimes alright. So in the firmware, let's look over here. The only thing that we had changed was it was something, yeah, I think firmware is what I'm going to do. Okay, so this, it looks like it remembers the change we made yesterday, because we did make this false. I believe. So, are we connected? Let's see if we are. Yep, COM4, there we go. Alright, well, let's, you think wiring? Well, it's just interesting that if you touch the printer, it does different things. So, and I think everything we did as far as the power supply and stuff like that is fine. But we are reloading the firmware right now. Let's see, we're going to the whole compiling sketch thing. We'll see if Caleb's idea is the winning one. And if it's not that, we can turn this thing up on its side and try to figure out what in the dickens in our wiring has changed. We've had a tremendous amount of problem with this switch, so the other thing is it could possibly be the switch. Okay, compiling is done, so we're just waiting for our blue lights to light up here and say uploading. Okay. Well, I thought we were going to be doing much more interesting things than this. Error compiling 2560, blah, blah, blah. Oh, do I have something else using the port? Not you. C program, terminal bridge, exit status 1, error compiling for board 2560. So is this telling me that my board is pooched? Tools. 2560. Oh, that would suck if this is the board. Yeah, error compiling. Let me. There, so now you guys can see the error. So that's what we got. Error compiling for board Arduino Mega 2560. That's not the error message I was hoping for. Okay, well, what do we do next? Let me look under Device Manager real quick. Yeah, port 4. Okay, so you're saying just click the checkbox and see if it's actually an error compiling or error uploading. Checkbox. Well, it's okay, so you want to see if it's actually the sketch or the upload itself. All right, I'll have it run the verify. Dun dun dun. Man, I was really hoping to get a printout tonight. I really wanted to see what this thing could do. And it just seems like every night we're backtracking. I have a sinking feeling that our switch is really unhappy. Okay. Progress bar is still going. Let's see what the bottom shoots out here. The one thing that's been frustrating about this is I've seen a interesting amount of people that have had problems uploading the firmware or bad boards. There was someone else that was on last night. He has one of these kits, and yeah, see, data compiling. So there was no problem with the sketch. This completed just fine. So let's have this thing upload. Let's see what happens. Probably going to be the exact same thing again, but I'm just absolutely stumped why between the power and this. Trying to stay positive. I really am, but I'm so annoyed too. Alright, I wish there was a way to make it skip going through the compile all over again here and just upload, but let's see what happens. Okay, so we are, if you're just tuning in and wondering what the devil are we doing here. Okay, so now the global, okay. Well, what the hell? So now it's uploading. We got blue lights this time. I am in hopes that this concludes the weird issues of the night. Still staring at this. Well, it's just a little discerning that last night everything was working and this morning nothing works. So I'm a little concerned about the reliability of this. Okay, done uploading. Alright, let's see what this thing does on restart. What's going on? Well, last night we had a working printer. This evening we have a printer that we just re-uploaded the firmware and just doesn't want to play nice. Alright, well this thing should be, let me press a button here. Yeah, all I'm getting is flickering. Alright. I'm going to unplug it. And let's plug it back into the USB and see what you do. All right. Clear? Yeah, really. Well, this was not the rousing positive endorsement of the company I was hoping for tonight. Alright, well, let's unplug that again. Let's get this guy tipped up on its side. Where's my name? I don't want that to lean on the rod, so let's use this. I have a whole bunch of tools that I decided to clean up. There's the button, because just to get you off the here. Okay, so I'm checking the power switch. Everything is good right there. Let me get the other camera going on here so you guys can see what I'm monkeying around with here. I'm not the only one having issues today. Welcome to Real 3D Printing. Always some kind of issue to figure out. Yeah, I know, and I'm just trying to figure out where the best place is to run these wires, because that is not mentioned anywhere in the documentation as to what the preference is. Let's see. Let me, one more thing to check. Let me just check the power supply, make sure everything is good and tight in here. You're good. Just want to make sure if anything's loose. No, you guys are all super snug. Let's close the cover. Okay, these guys, I'm just doing the stupid tugging on wires, making sure everything's happy thing. We have everything tucked in and out of the way. It's just frustrating. I wanted to print Okay, so we've done some checks. That all looks good. All right, let's see. Let's plug this guy in and. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so this is the world I live in where all right, and now it's back. All right, well, let's that's fine. Let's plug this guy in via USB. Now, the minute we plug in the screen, the USB, we just had all this wonkiness. Now, wait a minute. Okay, so now it's back to working. So, I don't know what to make of this. Mike, you have a good suggestion about the screen wiring, but they're just ribbon cables. They just go straight out, straight back and forth. I am open to ideas. I need a better ground for the screen. Well, I don't know. I mean, the screen only has 2 ribbon cables, so I don't really know what's going on. If you look at the wiring, I mean, it does go past the power cord and everything else here. Well, the only thing I can, what have I got I can wrap it up in? I have aluminum dryer tape. I can wrap them in that. Would that be something worth trying, or would that be moronic? Okay, I'm going to turn the printer off. And unplug that. And let's unplug USB. Okay, so the consensus is the ribbon cords suck. And they should be protected. So what do you guys think about this aluminum tape, the same stuff that you use on appliances? Yeah, that's kind of my my thinking too. It's like I'll try whatever you guys suggest. I'm that kind of a host. All right, let's first of all get this cable untangled from the other one. And okay, so you guys are pretty much paired up right now. Just checking for bent pins. Okay. Yeah, I was hoping someone might have a really cool suggestion while I was doing that. So we don't know the answer, so I guess we're all just going to kind of go on a hunch and try aluminum tape. No, I don't have extra cable. You think these guys would give me anything extra? So what I can do is, at least for a temporary fix, I feel like I'm making some sort of wonder joint here. I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up in this and then put painter's tape on there, just so it's temporary anyway. Oh, painter's tape. Because I don't work with that stuff very often. Regale the wiring. Well, yeah, if I got bad wire, that's a good point. I don't think I have anything extra for wiring. All right, you. Alright guys, welcome to the land of MacGyver. We're just trying to do the best we can with it. So I'm not going to earn any consumer science awards here for what I'm doing right now. Oh man, this is ugly. But it's temporary, that's all it has to be for right now. Alright. So if you're wondering what the devil I'm doing, I'm just kind of making a small envelope out of this aluminum tape and trying to lay the wires inside of it. Granted, if I get a broken wire, this won't make a damn bit of difference, but for right now it gains me a little time. Oh. Alright, so there we go. We got all sorts of something going on. USB cable. Actually, let's go back over here. Alright, so we wrapped the aluminum tape. Well, technically I folded it into the, I put the wire into the half folded piece. And there it goes again. Why in the world would that be? And if I touch the frame, it goes all over the place. So I don't know electronics anywhere like you guys do. The Type magnetic shield, yeah, well, just touching the printer makes this thing do different things. So if you were thinking the F word, so was I. Alright, so I can undo all this crazy stuff because it's not making any difference. Do I have any other wires? Let me see. I would have to check the leftovers from my FT-5 kit. I don't think I do have any leftovers, but what are the chances, right? I think the only thing I have extra is the... what have I got actually? I'd have to go look. I thought I had something, but I don't know what. Alright, so this stuff is all crap now. I'm just hoping I don't have a junk board. That would suck. What else have I got inside my case? Let's see what I have for extras, if anything. I don't have anything in this case. case, let's look there. No extra wires there. Well, what happens when I move the wires? Well, that is no fun to stare at, is it? There we go. Well, if anyone has any clever ideas or witty stories, I'm willing to listen. Well, we might have some good news. I found an extra wire or two, but they're extraordinarily short. These are extras for the, let me move the camera here. So these came with the FT-i3, and this has the board so that it looks like if you were going to do a bootloader. I think it's a smart adapter, I think. Yeah. So this was a leftover from the FT-i3 kit. The problem is that, of course, these are not going to fit. The only way I can make that work is if I unplug the board or unhook the board up and bring it back over here for testing. Oh, son of a bee. So, I think I may have to do that. Can I get at it? Yep. So, let's see. Next step is going to be this and some pliers. Right, that is a daughter board, but it does come with these wires. So, oh, you know what? But do they have enough connectors? This has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I bet you have 2. Oh, actually, let's just see if you fit in there. Yeah. Okay, well, the good news is this will fit in that connector. So here's the plan, and you can tell me what you think. What I can do is I can unscrew the LCD connector, or LCD panel. I can remove this because right now these spare cables I have are too short to fit. It will get us by for testing. So let's try it. The other thing is that if it's not these wires, we might have a bad board. And I do have another MKS board, actually, come to think of it, an MKS L. But let's do one crazy thing at a time. And I thought we were going to be printing tonight. Ha ha ha. All right. Let's keep a positive attitude. Maybe this will work. What are the chances I got a bad bearing, a bad switch, and bad ribbon cables? Crap all worked yesterday. What the hell? What the hell? Why me? get that spacer before it goes flying. Alright, and last one's right here. And it's kind of an ugly looking board in the back. Alright, let's tip you back this way. And here we go again, as our friends Whitesnake would say. Okay, questionable cables. We'll go back here. Sorry, that's my furnace kicking on, so apologies. All right. EP1 seated, and alright, you can only go one way. EXP2, and yep, just double checking myself here. Okay, now with all of you guys as my witness, I wonder if I should set that on something. Let's set it on top of our aluminum tape. That seems smart. How does that sound? Yeah, this stuff's all China. Alright, so let's go here. Hopefully you guys can, that's not too reflective. Let's go conservative. Let's not play with power switches yet. Let's just do the USB. I'd like to offer a small prayer. Dear Lord, make my printer work. Okay, now let's touch the frame. Hey! Well, come on, Caleb, give me a little credit. Yeah, here, let me put this on my little cup of water here and see what happens. Okay, so now that, let's see, you guys will be in charge of watching that. How's that? There we go. All right, let's touch the frame here, 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 here. Is it doing anything wonky? No? Okay, so I guess that leads us to realize our ribbon cable is crap. And we need to consider either a new location for the LCD screen. Oh, Brian? Okay, let's see. Brian says, now put the lock cables back on and see if it messes up again. Okay, that would be a proper test. All right, so let's unplug this guy. Let's take the nice short cables out. I mean, the other thing I could do, I mean, it would take a few minutes, but I mean, I could certainly try ohming them out. You know, insert some pins here and see which wire is acting badly. Okay, there's two, there is one. Oops, sorry. I was checking the top just to make sure it was pressed all the way down, make sure it hadn't unlatched itself, but that looks good. You know, the thing that goes across the top of the ribbons. Okay. Long cables are back in. Let's go ahead and USB power again. Doobie doobie doo. Yeah, okay. All right, let's play my game of touch the frame, touch the frame, touching the frame. Do 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 do. So why in the world? Okay. I'm speechless. I don't know what to do next. Looks like it doesn't like to be mounted on the front. Well, I mean, it's using the spacers, so I mean, it is mounted on top of ACM, which is aluminum composite. You know, I have a thought, and you might think I'm crazy, but you guys are watching this much. I'm wondering if, and hear me out on this, let me use my ceramic one here. I wonder if the aluminum composite material is making contact with this. Because that would make it a metal on metal connection. Even though we have spacers, I mean, this thing does sit pretty flush. Move the ribbon cable around. Okay, I can move the ribbon cables around. Let's doobie doobie doo. Here's one. All right. I am wiggling cables. I am even bending them a little bit here. Moving the wire. Yeah, someone just read my mind about the wiring. Yeah, I am. You guys have me being very aerobic. Now, well, let's move the, okay, someone just said what I'm doing, yeah. Should I unplug power and move it to the front, or should I just do it while it's plugged in? Well, that is exactly, Brian, you just read my mind, because my first thought was this right here, okay? Because when this sits flush, I think this makes contact. Oh, sorry for the lack of focus here. But yeah, I mean, these guys are all up here as well too. So let's see what happens when I go wiggle this thing and, whoops. Let me lay the camera down here. Alright, let's make this thing make contact with stuff. Oops. Alright, let's wiggle stuff around. Yeah. Okay, so I'm holding this thing in place. Okay, I'm tugging on wires and all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm banging around the ribbon cables and, oops. Oh, you're there, okay. I thought I lost it. Maybe just needing a warm up. Well, there's a couple of things we've learned in the last few minutes that I think might work. Son of a gun. We got a subscriber. Na, 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 na. Thank you, Martin. Come on, guys, give me a thumbs up. We got a corgi. Corgi means a subscriber. And honestly, with all the stuff that we've been doing here in the last hour, that's the first successful thing all night. It looks like it was going as you were just moving around. Yeah, so here's my thought. Let me know what you think. I'm going to unplug this guy right now. The electrical tape. Let's put some, God, these connectors are like way the hell out too. Let me get the other camera back over here so you guys can see what I'm blabbing about. And hopefully that will focus here. But these guys go out quite a ways. $1936. Wow, cool. Okay, so what do you think of this crazy idea? I can do, you know, I could clip. Brian said the same thing. Yep. Because I was going to put electrical tape on them, but it's going to make no difference if they're sitting out there like giant porcupines. So, just for the hell of it, let's disconnect these cables. And let's give you guys a little haircut here. And I don't know where that went, but good times. Pooey. Glad I got my glasses on. Ow. That hurt. Oh, that was a good one. Ah, son of a... I'm going to step on that one later. Okay, so... And what have I got left here? Let's make you guys flush. Up. Some of these are real. This kid's watching. Language. The cat one has one. Hey, let me get that off of you. Sorry. Okay, one hit the cat. Nice shooting, Dex. We're halfway done. Molly, don't eat that. Okay, so the results are... I think I got a couple that could be a little shorter. But then, just to be sure, clipped and flushed, nothing connects on that side. I am wearing my glasses. My good old Walgreens, you're over 40, so you have to wear glasses, 1.0s. So just for the hell of it, we're also gonna cover this guy up just so it can never bother me again. So just another layer. Again, not part of the instructions, but why not? How about let's put something around the bottom of that there too. Okay. I'm trying to be clever, but I'm not sure it's gonna work out for me. But an A for effort, right? Oh, that looks kind of homely and ugly. Not my finest work. So this right here, just to show you, I've just added a little bit of electrical tape to the bottom of that. Just because I wanted to make it look as ghetto as possible. Just as homely as possible. While I'm thinking of it, I did find the ugly ass emergency stop button thingamajig that goes back here. So now, man, I got stuff everywhere. Okay, let's go back to the big camera here. All right, gentlemen, shall we tempt fate and plug this back in? Oops, sorry. Oh, no. Not going to lose you again. To those of you who thought you were going to see a printer being built tonight, or working tonight, I apologize. It was my intention to have this thing calibrated and printing tonight, but we're having some technical difficulties. I'm still a suspect of the switch, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of wondering if that's going to bite us in the rear end again. Okay, then we get the spacers. Oh, chat got quiet. You guys also there, or is my system being slow? Let me check my phone. Caleb's really good about letting me know if things are going wonky. 1 hour to go. Oh, I gotta tell you, last night I had a lot on my mind. Once we got done doing this, I was still running through my mind all the things I wanted to keep doing and how to make this work right. And you know how it is. You get working on something and your mind is still processing everything, and I was definitely having that last night. Okay, I put too much tape over here. It's covering up that hole. Hey. So everything is in. Let's see, we're an hour into this, and every hour I like to kind of rewind and say hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Paul. This is where nerdy is cool. We are in the configuration process of the FolgerTech FT-i3 Mega. We've run into a few speed bumps tonight. When we first powered up the printer, we had no display. And then when we tried to connect to the board, we got issues with the board. And then once we got the firmware re-uploaded, we were having troubles with the display. So it's been that kind of night. So we haven't made any progress on putting in that new limit switch, adjustable limit switch piece there that I had posted a picture of. But I'm hoping perhaps we've solved the problem with these cables. Maybe we will. All right, I need this, and I need this. All right, the electrical tape is working right there. I'm hoping this problem is related to something that Brian picked up on. My thought is, and our thought is that perhaps there was a bunch of pins across the top of the screen here that was making direct contact with the ACM. They were pretty long, or intermittent contact anyway. But we shall see. because this is kind of unfortunate. I've really enjoyed this build overall. It's just unfortunate that some of these pieces are not playing nice for us. So now the question becomes, and I'm going to move the camera, and oh, I'm sorry, this web camera is having a hard time tonight. Let's go to this one. So the question becomes where to route these cables, because you know we're winding up right by the power. If we go through here, you know, right there's our power cord, and we know it doesn't necessarily appreciate that. Okay, let's connect XP2. Okay, and then XP1. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to possibly route this in a way that makes the printer happy, I am all ears. Well, before we worry about where wires go, let's get you back upright. All right. Okay. Let's move the wires as far away from everything I can think of. There we go. USB cord is hanging right here. Gentlemen, here we go. Okay, now let's touch the printer. Let's jog the wires around. Okay. Well, maybe this has been resolved. If you're just tuning in and wondering why you're staring at the LCD screen, we thought we were having problems with ribbon cable. It looks like it may have been on the LCD screen. There was a bunch of I don't know. They were probably 3 or 4 millimeter tall pins that are not used. Were sticking up on the board, and my bet is they were making some sporadic contact with the ACM material, which is what this stuff is. It's aluminum composite, so it's aluminum with plastic in the middle sandwiched in. So yeah, so yay, worky for now. It'll be interesting to see what happens when it reboots. So that leads us to, let's see what happens when I try going to the menus. But before I do that, I need to put main power on, because I won't be able to move any motors without power. So let me unplug the USB. Let's plug in the power. Power is plugged in. Okay, let's touch stuff. No. Yay, everything working once again. Okay, now I need to move that Z-axis up. Let's hope in the firmware I can do that. Let's see. Let's go to prepare, move axis. Really, I can't move the Z up. Maybe control, motion. Nope. Oh, really? So why can't I move the Z-axis upward from the menu? Does this have the light version of the menu turned on, I wonder? This looks like the light version. Yeah, auto home, extruder, Home X, Home Y, Home Z. Okay, that's a pretty limited menu. So we may have to fix the firmware once again. The power switch not being able to turn off and on. Literally, I had to pull the switch inward and outward from the casing. It's got a bad what's the word I'm looking for? The rockler. There's something inside that switch that isn't quite right. That's why I was wondering if some of the issues we were having was related to that. Okay. So my next question is, let's go ahead and get this guy plugged in so we can do some control here from remote. Look at this, I got junk everywhere. Let's get rid of some of these tools. I don't like the idea that I can't move the axes through that menu. So I need to find out, and I need to remember, and maybe someone can remember before me, but I'm pretty sure that menu is running the abbreviated version. And I wonder where that is in our firmware to detail the well, I suppose I can control F in menu. That's what I would really... I remember enabling this on the FT5 way back when, and I'm trying to remember... What, Molly? Well, no, you're fine. This is the option to reverse the direction for the LCD menus. Nope. There is somewhere in here an option to, you can change what is displayed on the menu. And I really want to find that. That's from mesh. Oh, if any of you guys know where it is, please tell me. Why can't I adjust that access through here? Slim menus. Thank you. That's what it's called. Yes. Because I want to say they did that in the, was it the CR10 or the TiVo? There was one of the printers I was reading about. Maybe it's the Ender. Maybe the Ender needs to have that because it doesn't have enough space on the board. Okay, so let's look for Slim and hit find. Ah, your case sensitive, you son of a gun. Oh, maybe not. Now I'm not finding it when I search. Under configuration H anyway. Let me go back to the top. Dun, dun, dun. All right, Control F. Slim underscore LCD. No. Good call. Okay, it's searching. Nope. Come up blank. Well, even the FT5 though has, I can move every axis on the FT5 and that's running a much older, that's like 1.1.6. me try this. Okay, that's the character sets. I remember I had to go through this on the FT-5 in order to have the mesh bed leveling show up. The steps, right? That's for reversing. Define individual and access homing menu. No. Now it's back to the top. Well, let's search all tabs. Okay, if you wonder what I'm looking for, where else can it be? Advanced, here we go. Okay, here we go. We got a case light for the menu. Okay. That's okay. And include your page for information thing. No. That's a timeout before it kicks you back out. Well, this is really, really wonky. Whoops, my phone beeped. Put that away. I'm stumped. I am literally stumped. I don't understand why you wouldn't have on your menu the ability to manually move. I mean, yeah, you can do it through Octoprint, or you can plug them through USB like we are right now, but you know, in a pinch, it's really nice to be able to home or move the. I mean, all the time, whenever I'm changing filament or stuff like that, I'll raise the Z-axis way up so I can get my head under the nozzle and clean it if I have to. So this is just weird that we don't have it in here. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, I'm just going to hit save for all the work we've done in here so far. Remember 118, and this firmware looks like it was based on 117. Well, that's the problem. If we home the printer first, right now we don't have, we need to fix the limit switch. And for me to fix the limit switch, I need to raise the Z-axis because right now it's on top of it. So right now, homing it is not going to work for me. I mean, yeah, I can manually crank on these guys to move it, but you know, it's not the ideal way I want to do it. Okay, I'm plugged in by USB. Good. So I disconnected. Let's go to. I know we should use Repertoire host, but I'm just going to go and do Simplify 3D. Well, Brian, we ran into this last night. It wanted to be home before you would move it. Oh, 4.11 is out now. Ooh. I'm going to say no to this right now. Let's go to Tools, Machine Control Panel. And yeah, it's trying to talk, but it can't. Here we go. And connect. Boom. We are in. All right, let's go to the jog controls and let's see. Yeah, Repetier host wasn't letting us do anything yesterday. What's the communication saying? See, right here, it wants to home Z first. So, only thing I can do is I can, I suppose if it really wants that, I can hit the switch and trick it into thinking that, yay, I've homed it. And what's it going to do now? Yeah. Home Z for. Why does everything want to home first? Alright, let me try it this way. Let me hold the switch down and tell it to go up. Okay, it's not believing me. I have the limit switch in the down position. I'm going under jog controls. I'm going under Z. And I'm clicking on 0.1. No. Yep, I am manually. I literally have the red light going right now. So the only thing I can think of is I have to click, hang on. Maybe it wants to be really stupid, so let me click on Home Z. There we go. Now let me try moving you up. Yeah, see, I clicked on Home Z and I got nothing. Okay, nothing comes easy for us tonight. So let's get out of here. Let's get out of Simplify 3D. Let's go to Repetier host. Let's see if we can make. Well, we'll try that in just a second. Because Repetier has all the settings for this thing. Connect. Okay. Manual control. I am going to depress and hold that switch. And I'm going to click that. And it says Z forbidden. So let's try Y. Okay. Y has homed. X is homing right now. And if I do that with Z, it's gonna bash into the bottom unless I beat it to it. So okay, so using my screwdriver and clicking Home Z and then quickly pressing the button, it's there. So let's make the little bastard go up. Oh, for the love of God. Oh, really? That's interesting. What does Z safe homing do? Well, before I get too carried away with this conversation, hang on, let's get this guy up. And as you can see, I got it going up 10 millimeter. It's not very speedy. All right, so there is that part. Now, let's get our build plate. placed on here. I don't know where in the world it's supposed to go. As far as when this guy homes. But for right now, let's just stick it here. I am kind of curious if this is going to home in the front or in the rear. I have no idea, but I just want to, for the sake of leveling this guy, we'll put the polypropylene bed. No, I can't go up 100. It only lets me go 0.1, 1, or 10. Let's see. There's that. There is that. Actually, let's put these inset so I can do it with my CR10. I don't know if this is going to home here or if it's going to home back here like it does with the FT5. Cables everywhere. Na 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 na. Oh, come closest to my chair. Okay. So next step is going to be this limit switch. So what I got to do now is shut down the printer. And we will disconnect this guy. Because now our next step is going to be trying to get this limit switch thing sorted out. Oh, you're in there, good. All right, I don't want to chance breaking too much here. That came shooting off. And then we need to look at the instructions here for, where is it, right here, where this guy goes. Looks like it's going to clamp across the top. Wow. That's actually a really nice little design. So let me go ahead and get our camera aimed up over here so you can see what the devil I've been doing here. So this thing looks like it might work out all right. It's on there and it's a pretty good fit. Before I get too carried away, let's get the limit switch removed here. So what we need to do is let me just spin this camera around over here. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, my FT5 one stays pretty solid. This one right here is just friction, and I'm hoping this one is not a similar story. Okay. Now this one, I wish he had more photographs here to show you exactly how this is all going on. It looks like see, here's the thing right here. This blocks your access to this. See right in here? Okay, this ACM piece right here on the inside. So it's, I don't know how he was able to, well, he put a nut on either side, so he may have come up with a decent way of doing this. Because I'm looking at this. So what we're going to do is this right here is going to be where the nut is. We're going to screw it in from this side. Got it. And then these guys have got a bolt on. And the only clue we really have here is this comes out here and this comes out straight. So it's kind of like a little wishbone here. Okay, the good news is everything is lining up really nicely. Let's go back to that camera view right here. There. If this works, I'll be happy to share the link. If it doesn't work, I ain't saying nothing. Someone asked me if I was enjoying this build, and I said yes, tremendously. It's challenging, but it's been a lot of fun. Okay, you're in. Okay, so what's nice is that at least this time, see how that is way higher than here? Before it wasn't. The this other one was taller. So the next step is to get another nut. How long should that one be? That should probably be. It's probably overkill, but. Do I have an 18? No. Okay, so let's just measure up here. So this is going to sit inset. Well, I was almost thinking that should be a little bit longer, but once that goes in, is it going to hit anything? Nah, it's got plenty of room. Let's go with the let me look at my some of my leftover parts and pieces here. Just trying to find the right length screw to go in there. I think he had mentioned 35 to clamp to the X. Let's look in there again. Hi, David. All right. I'm looking for some longer M3 that I thought I had a whole bunch of here. This is, how long is this one? Okay, this one is, I think this one's a 30. bigger, but I'm gonna try a 20 the first time, and if that is not satisfactory, because the 20 definitely goes in and then some, yeah. So I think we're gonna be okay with that. Alright, let's push this sucker in. Okay, now before we get too carried away about how low that should go, let's get this top part clamped up. Jeez, I need a much longer metric screw on this one. And I might have the right one. I do. And in his photograph, let's see, what does he have? Well, he doesn't really give you a great photo of where the nut goes, but okay, we shall improvise. Improvisation seems to be the theme of the evening. Let's get that camera moved here real quick so you can see what I'm trying to sort out here. What we're trying to do is, see, we got this piece here, and there we go. And let's see if you work. Wrong size. And well, son of a biscuit. This would really give you a good way to... I'm trying to clamp this in place here, but because of the way the edges go up, you really don't have much of a way to grip it. And yeah, that's kind of a problem. You can clamp it on here, but you can't, once this starts threading, you can't, well, let me just show you. It's very difficult to, because of the depth of the hole here, once you got this guy tucked in here, you can't get the plier or anything on that. So I guess that's not going to be a nylon insert, because that's not going to work for us. We'll have to use a, I guess a regular nut. let's review his documentation one more time here. He's saying 2 M3 socket head bolts. Two normal nuts. Yeah, that's a good idea. Fortunately, we have that. Okay, I'm not going to fuss too hard with that first one yet. So now, how did he put... Okay, so now... So he's using a long screw. Question becomes, how high off the ground are we? So what I should be doing is getting that thing down to figure out where it is. So he is using, see at the top of this thing, it is already set up so that it has a nut built into the top. Okay, that's good. I get the gist of what he's trying to do. The question becomes, is it gonna work? I think the way to do this is to drop that nylon in the top. So what I'm trying to figure out, in case you're wondering what the devil I'm doing. So the top of this thing has a, so it will hold the nut, okay, like this guy. What I'm trying to figure out is, do I want to have it be downward, and then, you know, we're twisting into it? Yeah, then all the, because then it becomes, so then what we're doing is we're cranking away on this guy here. But I'm wondering about the bottom half. What when it does press, what's going to keep that in place? And just so you guys can see how that goes in. Oops, sorry. So what I'm doing is I'm just threading that screw into that. Oh, you think so? Well, it showed nylon in the picture, so I wanted to do what the picture had. So I can go with the regular size. That's fine there. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, in the photograph, you see the nut on the very bottom where it makes contact with the switch. But what I want to know is at the bottoms, and let me go back here. My mystery here is this. What goes onto here? I know I got a nut here, but that's, I'm trying to figure out. That's what I can't tell. Because what happens is that this is going to make contact with this, so obviously it'll want to push upward. So there must be a screw under here. Oh, I'm sorry, it must be a nut under there, right? Because I'm just not seeing it. Okay. So, just to make sure I'm doing this all right, got this guy, I've got a nut, and I'm going to thread this guy all the way to the top, correct? So that it can sit inside this little guide here, just like okay. So that is in there. Correct. Now, do I put another one so it's under here? And then at the very bottom, put the nylock one? Okay. I am following directions. Learning as I go. Because I'm noticing the one that makes contact with the limit switch. And again, we still don't know what goes where yet. As far as our, what makes our Z level. Come on, you. Thank you. Okay, so for the moment, and we know that's probably way too high. And then, so I think, and then we know the nylock, yeah, is this going to be at the very end? Let's go ahead and okay, the nylock is on there, a couple twists. As that, I can tell already that because of the size of the screw, this needs to go the other way because it's going to get in the way of leveling because this thing hangs over. So let's get this guy on this side. There we go. So that there's nothing in the way here. Alright, let's move you back a little bit. Yeah, we'll move you to the very back here so you are where you need to be. Alright, we could put a second nut on there, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. You could take off the motor. Might be easier to deal with that screw. Actually, it worked out pretty good. I was pretty impressed. Right, so let's see how things are lining up on that switch. And just looking to see where this will make contact eventually. No, you know why? Because look how high the print head is right now. So the next step is going to be we need to lower the Z and get so that this thing is, you know, touching the bed. Right. You are exactly right. It won't have any, because right now we are currently 2.5 inches above the bed. So when we have the nozzle just above the can't speak. So we'll lower the bed, or we'll lower the nozzle down so that it's almost touching the bed. Then we can set the Z. I just want to make sure, are we all on the same page? Because I think I'm doing this right. But I'm trying not to screw myself over here by, oh, screw, see what I did there? That's kind of funny. Okay, so next step is going to be we are going to have to lower the Z, or quote unquote home. And then what I can do is I can kind of manually trip it when it wants to home. Is everybody in agreement with that proposal? This has been a fun team sport so far, so I just want to make sure everybody is involved. So what we'll do is we'll turn the printer on, and we'll plug you in by USB. Let's go back to Repetier host. And let's get that nozzle down there, and I'll throw the Z by manually until it's, because right now the bed isn't, well, those springs suck anyway, but we need to get that bed down, then we can adjust our Z limit switch. Okay, so we are connected. Let's hit Z home. It says Z forbidden. Why is Z forbidden? What has Z done? Okay, the printer is saying G28 Z forbidden. What in the world does that mean? Let's disconnect and reconnect. Let's home X. Let's do Y. Okay, let's try Z. Here we go. And we are watching to see how close that goes. Well, first thing is that that screw is way too close. So I had to, at the last minute, move all that over, because as you can see, we're still pretty high up there. So I'm going to hit Home Z again. Okay, that is still pretty high. But then again, it does seem to go up a little bit. Oh, is that what the safe homing's all about? Great. Okay, so just to give you an idea, so obviously we have to adjust that. I had to swing this over, otherwise that wouldn't have worked out very well. We are about, I don't know, we're about 4 millimeters above the surface. So I don't know if I should try to make that a little closer, because those bed springs are pretty wimpy. So let me try that. Let me get my finger on this thing here. Okay. Holy shnikes, I might have done it. Let's double check. Yeah, so we're pretty close. I'd say a millimeter. All right. Now, let me see if I can, you can see how close that is. Oh, I'm sorry, that's great that that's in the way. So you can see how close the nozzle is above the surface. It's 11 p.m., really? Well, I want to hang out with the cool kids. Sorry, Caleb. All right, so now, obviously, we got to bring that up quite a bit. So, let's see. See how fun this is going to be to do. So. Getting this lower screw, not rather down here. Still a ways to go. Ooh, almost. What is the best way to do this? So now, glue the nut to the bottom of the bracket. Well, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do here. But right now, I'm just trying to, first of all, now that you're lined up, let's first of all cover that base. And the effing nut on the back is spinning because that's the fun life I have. So the nut on the back being a nylon does not make my life any easier. Son of a biscuit. Yeah, there's a bunch of these screws that are currently too loose. I was hoping the nylon would, in the back here, would help me, but I don't see where it has. Ah, man. Alright, let's pull you out. Yeah, this thing is just spinning on me. So we'll go with a regular one. Try not to too bound up here. Yeah, I'm a fan of this. I say not. Oh, Mr. FolgerTech. I'm not enjoying this design at the moment. You can take it all apart and add a washer between the... Well, yeah. I agree with you guys. Right now I'm just trying to the hard part is we're trying to get a nut to go in there straight, which is like literally impossible. And I'm just not having any fun with this at the moment. Aha, it finally went. Alright, yeah, son of a colorful metaphor. Okay, everything is lined up at the moment. Where all kinds of crap can go wrong, but let's see what happens. Clamp you on good and tight. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay, let's see how loosey-goosey this thing is. I don't like the idea that the screw in the top keeps on working its way out. Okay, so this thing is a little on the wiggly side, but I'm starting to understand how it's supposed to work anyway. Come on. Alright. So here's what I like and here's what I don't like. I don't like that that screw is sitting up like that. It's holding still. And it's making good contact. Brian, I don't understand what you're saying. Hold the bottom of the screw. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Yeah, that's exactly. I was holding the bottom, and then I was threading the top. problem is that this nut is not, well, well, that's what the retaining hole. Yeah, let me see. Let me try something. Let's go. Okay, we're going up 10. And let's tell it to home. Boy, the safe homing thing is really annoying. Well, that was a little scary. Here's the thing I don't like. I don't like that, oh, I don't like hitting the fan. I don't like how that top screw is working its way upward. It should be inside of this thing better. Here we go. All right, what am I doing wrong here? I mean, it works, but I'd like it to work better. See how this is, see how it's not quite in there? What in the world? Doobie-doobie-doo. This is what happens when you use other people's ideas. Sometimes they work, sometimes, not so much. I mean, it seems to be working enough where it's capturing it, but is that top nut coming out? Oh, the top nut's good. Okay, let's see if you gentlemen have any ideas. Nope, everyone is kind of just watching me. All right. Yeah, beats the hell out of me, man. The good news is that the print head is looks to be in a good spot. Let me see if I can actually slide a piece of paper under that. Yep. So it's definitely in a decent spot. I don't like the safe homing thing. I don't like it one bit. Let's bring Z up. Okay, and let's home everybody again. Okay, so it homes to the center. That's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, well, couple thoughts. The limit switch is working. The it's a little nerve-wracking to watch it work. I'll be honest, but it is working. I got to get the power cord away from this stuff here. So what should we do next? Let's see. Suppose I should refer to the directions that we haven't looked at all evening. Okay, so this we're done with. I thought we already had this open, but let's double check. Oh, sorry, your message was held up. Both of them nuts should be fully seated in the retaining holes when you thread screws through. Yeah, well, that's you know, I agree with you. I don't understand for the life of me why I can't make that. I mean, I can move the screw up and down, but there we go. Oh, I might have come in. Oops. Yeah, I am still intrigued. I mean, that looks pretty good, but as you can see on the top here, this thing is still coming out some. Okay, now it's why can't I get that guy to do I still have my little red light? Nope. I just want that to work better. Need a nut on the bottom. There is a nut on the bottom, and it's gone inside of here too. So that's what's happened. Yeah, there is a nut in the bottom of this that's already gone up inside the mechanism, and then there is the one at the top that's slightly above. So the working is just not the prettiest thing. Let me go to Rupt here. Let's see. Well, we got to go home, everybody, again to do anything. So I think they could come down a little bit more, but that might be a matter of bed leveling. But these bed screws are tiny, so I think we're good right there. Let's see what's next in his documentation as far as, what time is it? 11:15. I didn't get as much done tonight as I wanted. Okay, so go back to 100%. Let's flip through some pages. We've done the firmware. We've done all this stuff. We've done the end-stop calibration. I suppose we can do the M119. I'm pretty sure that's all good though. Okay, X, Y, and triggered, okay? So we've done all this stuff with, and that is moving a mile. What do you mean, sir? And then BOTL. Alright, well, do I want to heat up the bed? Bottle. Made a diagram. Let's see. Yep. Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about. So I'm looking at the imager here, and Keith. Well, the problem is at the top I have the screw head. So, I mean, I gotta undo everything to get that in there. I have to take it apart. Where do we put that washer? Let's see. So, well, but with your imager, what you're not noticing is at the very top, you're showing us a rod. So you're saying instead of use, or maybe just use the screw upside down? Is that what you're suggesting? Well, okay, and I am using, I was being lazy. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we have up top. Up top is the, so that is the socket head. I don't know if you can tell by that. And we got wires everywhere. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, it's doing the job, sort of. True. Yeah, I'm starting to see the magic of that. So, step one would be to... Oh, the power switch isn't working again. How awesome is that? Alright, so... What we need to do is a couple things here. Let's go back to your host, and let's hit the little home function. Okay, and then, oh, I'm sorry, I just had it open here. So let's bring him up. All right. So now what we need to do, somewhere in this mess, I have some pliers. Okay. And twist, 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 twist. Bringing this guy all the way out. Oh, the cat found the toy. Okay, so these guys are now out. So now I am heeding your advice and bringing this guy down and up. Maybe. So the fun begins is this is not going to be accessible or very adjustable. Besides just twisting this. Correct. At some point here, just saying put a washer in there. Okay, well you've convinced me, yeah, that this is a pain in the ass. So what's a better way to do it? Okay. So let's review. So we have on the top here where we can put a nut. Right there. The chat delay. Well, okay, Mike, you keep mentioning a washer on top. I'm not how do I say this? The goal is to have two of those nuts inside that capture. Okay. So oh, Theodore, you picked a hell of a time to find a toy. Okay, so you guys are proposing. Okay, so we got screw, washer, like so, and in the top, move that for a moment. Oh, you want a nut on top of the washer or below the washer? Okay. You know, this is kind of like the $64,000 pyramid. You know, you guys are shouting out descriptions and I'm trying to find answers, kind of thing. If we can get through this, we could do a talk show or a game show, rather. All right. Okay. Screw, nut, and then washer. Just to make sure everyone's happy. Correct? Speak now or forever. So then we and then on the bottom we place oh really? Come on. Okay, and am I still putting the nylon at the bottom? Yes, to nylon on the bottom. Okay. Gonna move that. Doobie doobie doo. Let me just. Okay, let's move this over so that you're engaged somewhat. Okay. Let me move this so you guys can see everything. Let's make sure that guy is parallel. There we go. So that needs to now go down until that is engaged. And now it is too tight. I can't get it any lower. Come on. Keep going. There we go. Okay, but you need to go down but that's okay, because guess what? The printer is still up in the air 9 millimeters or so. So that means I gotta hold this guy. Okay, so what I gotta do is I gotta pivot this guy over. We gotta home the Z-axis. Oh, we gotta home everybody. So we will home Z and then reorient this. Okay, so yeah, we weren't too far off, huh? All right, so now I'm gonna crank this all back up. Oh, this limit switch is the bane of our existence, isn't it? All right. Let's make sure that's hitting. Now, let's do all the fun of tightening you up by forcing that nut upward. Well, see, I think that could come down a bit more, so yeah. See, you really gotta see this design. Frankly, the top nut is way up at the top, so it's really not doing anything at the moment. Oh, this is a sucky design. Okay, top nut. Here we go. So the nozzle's, how far is the nozzle up? Well, it's supposed to, but this thing's loose again. Okay, so, because right now, here we go. Tightening that nut. Tighten the top nut. Okay, but what we got is we're still a little high. 3D print one. Okay, now holding the nut, pulling this guy up a little bit. We're homing again, trying to get that nozzle a little closer. Yeah, nope. That ain't it. Oh man, the joys of calibration. Change you a little bit more. Okay. That's where I want you, right there. Okay. Well, if I tighten the screw, here's the thing. If you tighten the screw goes lower. It's not. You guys are welcome to print one of these and go through the same agony, and have 10 people say, "Do this, do that, do this, do that." Oh man, you ain't kidding, man. Yeah, as soon as I can get this thing on an easy ABL and get rid of these bed springs, holy hell, life will be better. Let's do a home again. It was kind of fun to watch the whole gantry flex a little bit. Holy shnikes. All right. And a piece of paper fits under there a little bit loosely so that the bed leveling should do the rest. In the words of This Is Keith B, there we go. Well, Keith, you helped us get there, that's for sure. I don't know why the electronics have been acting up so weird in this thing. I don't know what to expect tomorrow when we power this thing on, what it's going to do. Once again, the switch will not shut off right now. That's a nice thing too. See, if we press on the switch, it just bounces back. So that connector is that's annoying. That's on the bug list. While I have 9 of you guys here, if you guys know of a source, I mean Mouser, DigiKey, eBay, whatever. Yeah, what I had to do last time was I had to wiggle because this piece is inset in this mold. So if I press it from behind, obviously I'm not going to do it right now with current. But if you wiggle the back of the switch, you'll hear it, pop a little bit. And either the spring or something in there is rubbing. So if any of you guys happen to know of if it has the same pinouts in the same shape, I mean, this is probably a Chinese knockoff, so there's got to be a zillion out there. So if you guys happen to see one online, if you can cut and paste that link to me on the comment section of this video, I'd really like to get one. I don't want to bug John Folger for another one. I'm a little bummed that some of the pieces here had some quality issues, but he buys them in bulk, so he has no idea. Just like my fingers first. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The Amazon, you just don't know what you're getting either. I got a lot of friends that go to Alaba and whatever, and Banggood and stuff like that. So, is that what it is? An IC320? Boy, I'll have to scroll back to this chat tomorrow when I'm uploading the video to YouTube and see if I can find one of those. It's worth the money to have a real switch. It just seems like every time we're trying to make a few steps forward, we're repairing something else. So it'd be nice if we can find a fix to that. Well, we didn't do any printing. We got the limit switch thing installed. It's a little wiggly. It'll work. I can't wait until I replace that print head with a Titan Aero or something else that will support a probe. Because the other thing is, as you've seen on the bed, there's 8 knobs here for bed leveling. So that sucks. Actually, I'm not a Twitter guy. Twitter, I just haven't had any use for. It's not my favorite. But I'm available, of course, on Facebook, where Nerdy is Cool. Instagram is where nerdy is cool, and the website is where nerdyiscool.com, or of course right through YouTube. There's a link there about me, and if you prove you're not a robot, it'll give you my email address. So please, Keith, if you have some information that might be helpful, let me know, and I thank you in advance. So, well, I said we were going to wrap up at 11, and here it is, 11:45. So, son of a gun, we did it again. Want to thank everyone for watching tonight. I guess what we'll do is tomorrow, well, I have my final tomorrow, so if I get that done at a decent time, I might jump back into this tomorrow night, if not Saturday. But we're a little bit closer. I'm looking forward to being able to feed filament into this thing. We need to test the bed heater and the hot end, make sure those get the temperature. We need to do a PID auto tune on the hot end, and make sure that's all good and calibrated. I think those are the next couple steps in the documentation from what I saw. Yeah, just the heating it up and then preparing for that first print. This is another one of those FolgerTech printers that doesn't come with a part cooling fan. That's kind of annoying. I mean, I don't want to thump on them, but if your printer isn't going to be open source and you're not going to offer those CAD files out there, you've kind of made it hard for people to make fans for this thing. I've seen one or two out there for this, and they look like a giant, I mean, it was a huge thing off to the side. I'd rather have a fan that does both sides. I just wished we would release some data that would help us, design our own. I'm not one of those guys that's super good at Fusion 360 or SolidWorks or whatever, and I can't sit there with a caliper and draw this up on my own. So, but it'd be really cool if he's watching. If you do decide to redo this printer or on the FT6 or your other printers, it'd be really, really cool if you're including a part cooling fan, because really you need that. To not include one, I think, is kind of remiss, because most prints are going to suffer if they don't have it. So it's like selling a car by not giving them the steering wheel. Well, it'll drive, but so that's just my opinion at the moment here. But then again, it's late, I'm cranky, nothing's going right tonight, but at least the printer, as we're leaving it tonight, is printing and working. Just checking through here as well. I do, Caleb. As a matter of fact, I usually on Facebook, we usually PM back and forth and things like that. Talks about the FT6, what he's working on, and I let him know what's going on with the build. So we have a pretty good relationship. Like I said, he sent the power supply and the connector for free and the Captain tape. So he's been very responsive. He appreciates my feedback. So hopefully he'll keep doing that. Like I said, I'm not a big, huge channel. I've only got 1,900 and some odd subscribers, so I'm not like a 3D printing nerd or some of the other guys that have 200,000 or whatever. But I like to think my channel is unique and fun because, hey, this is me, right? If you get into the live chat, he has in the past, actually. Yeah, he has surprised me in the past. He's jumped on a couple of these for other people and for myself, so he does get out and about. Just want to remind you guys that if you aren't subscribers already, please mash the button in the corner and please become one. Love to have you on board so you don't miss any of the live streams or videos. There is also a discount code available at FolgerTech. So if you're going to be buying anything over there, you can use where nerdy is cool. We'll save you some money. I don't remember how much, maybe 5 or 7%. I can't remember, but hey, maybe it's taxes, maybe it's shipping. Can't hurt, right? Also, I have Patreon, patreon.com/where nerdy is cool. If you haven't already given the video a thumbs up, please make sure you do. I would love your comments and feedback. And with that, I am going to end this, unplug this, because I can't power it off otherwise. And I'm going to call it a night. I thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your feedback. And remember, this is where nerdy is cool. See you soon.